Coming up on News Live at 6, the Common Council rejected a proposal to move forward with the good cause eviction law. We'll have more details on the vote and what it means for renters.
Plus, car thefts in Syracuse area are up, how students are being impacted by them.
And a blizzard is slamming the Northeast with snow. Can Syracuse expect the same? I'll have that and more in just a few minutes. News Live at 6 starts right now.
TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
After months of debate, the Syracuse Common Council failed to adopt the good cause eviction law earlier today. Welcome to News Live at 6. I'm Anjana Dasam.
I'm Tyler Oldano. The law was passed by the state of New York in 2024, but left it up to each municipality to adopt it. Good cause eviction would allow tenants to challenge their rent increases that exceed more than 5 to 10% annually.
CitrusTV's Jackson Breslin joins us live from City Hall. Now, Jackson, you were at the vote today. Can you tell us more on what happened?
Good evening, Anjana and Tyler. It was a bit of a tense scene earlier today when the vote to advance the good cause eviction law resulted in a tie in the Common Council meeting. Common Councilors failed to move the proposal forward to Mayor Sharon Owens' desk, and that's something that left some people in the audience audibly disappointed.
We won't be able to say unintended consequences because if we looked at the data, we know what the consequences are. Good cause eviction will harm residents more than it will help.
Now, what you heard there were shouts of shame from the audience coming after Common Councilor Patrona Jones-Rouser gave her reasoning for voting no. She says that of the approximately 34,000 renters in Syracuse, only about 9,000 would be covered under good cause eviction law. Councilor Sholma Joke voted yes. He said that protecting one person under the law is better than not protecting anyone. Now, this is a law that has been passed in multiple surrounding cities like Rochester, Binghamton, and Ithaca, though it failed here in Syracuse. Common Councilor Rashida Caldwell says that she hopes that local lawmakers can work together to move forward with a more Syracuse-focused law that will help the problem with renters. Reporting live from City Hall, Jackson Breslin, Citrus TV News.
Well, thank you so much, Jackson. The Syracuse Common Council is also bringing in its former president to fill in a vacant voting seat. On a 6-2 vote, city lawmakers appointed Helen Hudson to fill the vacancy.
She previously served as a Common Council president and was an at-large councilor for 6 years before that. She received more than 50% of the weighted votes and also plans to run in the election to keep the seat once her interim time passes.
Well, 2 Syracuse teenagers were arrested this morning after stealing multiple cars. Manly's police were dispatched at around 5:30 this morning for an alleged attempted car theft. Officers found 2 cars with their engines running and broken ceiling columns. 2 more cars were found and crashed into a snowbank near the area, and a 4th stolen car was found in DeWitt. Police say all of the cars were either Kia or Hyundai models. Anyone with information is urged to call the number on your screen right now.
And what happens when those Hyundai and Kia cars get broken into? Over the last few months, DPS has issued a warning about car thefts around campus. Our Zara Malik has more on the way car thefts are looking different for some car owners.
Or if I'm getting in, I go in through like the back seat and like crawl over the front door or crawl over the like front chair to open my door.
The Syracuse area is no stranger to the issue of car thefts. But what do you do when certain parts of your car are up for grabs? One Syracuse student shares her story.
Gracie Noble is a senior at SU and explained how she's been impacted by the rise in car theft.
I look in my car and the door handle was just like the driver's side door handle was just missing. And it was like, oh, actually this has been happening around Syracuse. Like people are like taking the car door handles off of Hyundais and Kias to like try to steal them.
AAA communications specialist Valerie Puma shared the agency's advice for drivers to avoid future break-ins.
Yeah, so if you do own a vehicle that is of the certain model that's being targeted by car theft, that is where you're going to maybe want to purchase a steering wheel log, the brake log. Kind of think of it as like two-factor authentication, but for your vehicle. Making sure that there isn't stuff in there that you can see through the window that might be like, maybe it's worth, you know, a thief might be looking to break in to steal your laptop.
Students looking for more information on how to keep themselves and their cars safe can check out northeast.aaa.com. For Citrus TV News, I'm Zara Malik.
Zara, thank you. And Syracuse football announced on Instagram today that some of the best former coaches and players would be joining the Orange for a 2-day clinic on coaching and playing. Among the coaches coming are Juan Castillo, Keith Bullock, Dwight Freeney, and Ed Ozoran, and head coach Fran Brown. The clinic is on March 27th and 28th. Registrations and tickets can be found on the franchise Q's Camps website.
And as Lunar New Year fills social media feeds, Chinese traditions are reaching new audiences online. But for those who grew up living them, the story goes much deeper. Our Grace McCloskey heard from Chinese international students on what lies beyond the trend. We apologize for technical difficulties right now.
But look into the weather. You know, Tyler, we've been having so much warmer temperatures. I know yesterday we got a lot of snow, which was really weird, but today, doing much better. What has it been for you?
I mean, I drove to Boonville yesterday and I was just getting pelted with snow. I actually had to change my wiper fluid for the first time from just regular, the summer stuff to the winter stuff. So I got to ask, am I going to have to refill that wiper fluid again? Because I've used quite a lot of it. What's it looking like out there?
Yeah, Anjana and Tyler, a sunny Monday is always a wonderful way to start the week. Temperatures hit a high of 30 degrees today, so this warmer weather that we've been experiencing plus the sun has helped melt some of the snow off of the ground. If you were walking across campus, you may have seen some green patches of grass, which is always super exciting. However, the sun can be a bit misleading because as it is setting behind me, it is quite cold outside. It is currently 29 degrees outside, but it feels like 16 degrees, and tonight the temperature is going to drop down to about 18 degrees, but it's going to feel like 6 degrees. And this is primarily because of the heavy wind gusts we are experiencing, about 12 miles per hour. So make sure you're bundling up if you're planning on going outside later tonight. But as I said before, the snow is still here. Although it is melting a little bit, it is quite cold outside. So make sure you're wearing your proper winter attire when going outside. That's all I have for now, though. I'll see you guys back in the studio. Hopefully it will be warmer than it is right now.
Skylar, thank you. And as people are facing the blizzard currently sweeping the Northeast, airports are expecting the effects. Flights both from Syracuse Hancock International Airport have been impacted.
If you're traveling, it's important to pay attention to any flight delays or cancellations. Two flights, flights from New York City, Philadelphia, and other Boston areas all have been canceled. So make sure you're watching out for that if you're looking to take to the skies. And something else you should be watching out for, the Department of Veteran Affairs appoints Michael Del Duca as the new executive director of VA, Syracuse Healthcare System. Del Duca will be responsible for the delivery of healthcare services in 12 locations across CNY, including the Syracuse VA Medical Center. This position was vacant for nearly a year when former director Mark Murdoch resigned after accepting an offer from the Trump administration. And Oswego opens a new medical office in Clay. It's called Clay Prime Care and opens on March 2nd. It's localized in the Belgium Meadows Office Park and can hold up to 2,000 new patients. The office, led by Dr. Andrew Rogal and his nurse practitioner Michelle Burns, to provide care to patients ages 5 and older. The new medical office costs $150,000 in total.
An Onondaga County sludge dryer is opening next month. The sludge dryer has continuously delayed its opening since its grand opening more than 2 years ago. The nitrogen dioxide level found in the factory prevented workers from operating safely, and after various air quality tests, they're now being cleared to begin operations. The funding for trucking has still been required despite the halt inactivity. This machine is meant to reduce the amount of sludge going to landfill and save nearly $2 million in the process, but now it may cost about the same.
And three-time Grammy winner Jelly Roll will be performing in Syracuse this summer. The concert is one of 2 stops in his, quote, Little Ass Shed, unquote, tour. It is at the amphitheater Lakeview on June 23rd at 7 p.m. Jelly Roll is known for his songs Son of a Simmer and Need a Favor and has collaborated with artists like Eminem and Post Malone. Tickets will go on sale this Friday on Ticketmaster.
And earlier today, Governor Kathy Hochul announced that applications for the Empire State Newspaper and Broadcast Media Jobs Program will open tomorrow. This provides critical financial support to newspaper and broadcast media businesses that operate in the New York State. The program offers up to $30 million in annual tax credits to help local media outlets offer new jobs and keep existing employees. Funding will be divided evenly between small and large businesses. Applications will be processed on first-come, first-served basis.
And Governor Hochul also announced $21 million towards programs reducing gun violence. The money will support Snug Street outreach programs, which is a violence prevention initiative. The grants allow organizations to employ outreach workers, hospital responders, and social workers, as well as case managers who will work with high-risk individuals.
And when we return, Jack Smith is publishing his final report on President Trump, but there's something different about it compared to the rest. We'll tell you next.
Plus, changes in leadership at the CDC. We'll tell you who and why they're stepping down. All this and more when News Live at 6 returns.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York. Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid. A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close. I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us. But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words. These are not my words. These are not my words.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Special Counsel Jack Smith's final report on President Trump's alleged obstruction of justice at Mar-a-Lago will not be released. The case involved Trump's supposed mishandling of classified documents.
This ruling comes from Eileen Cannon, a Florida judge appointed by President Trump. Cannon previously threw out a case against Trump before he was reelected. That ruling also stated Smith was unlawfully appointed as special counsel, leading to those charges being dismissed.
And the CDC announced Principal Deputy Director Dr. Ralph Abraham will step down effective immediately. Abraham was sworn in just over 2 months ago.
In his statement, he says, quote, "It has been an honor to serve alongside the dedicated public health professionals at the CDC and to support the agency's critical mission," end quote. This comes as the Department of Health and Human Services makes sweeping changes across as multiple officials have stepped down this month.
And the U.S. Department of State ordered that non-emergency government personnel and eligible family members should leave Lebanon as tensions continue to escalate. This temporary measure is meant to keep individuals safe and remain operational with essential staff.
President Donald Trump ordered a large buildup of forces, the largest military presence in the Middle East the U.S. has had in decades. The buildup is set in place until Tehran negotiates a deal to constrain its nuclear program. The tensions between the United States and Iran have continued to rise while negotiations are occurring.
And Americans in Mexico are advised to shelter in place after the leader and 8 members of the Jalisco New Generation cartel was killed in a Mexican military operation. Known as El Mencho, they are Mexico's most wanted cartel boss.
This killing has sparked a wave of violence, with gang members torching buses and businesses, but Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum says that, quote, peace, security, and normalcy are being maintained, unquote. The U.S. State Department are urging American citizens to remain in their residences and hotels.
And coming up on News Live at 6, I'll have your 5-day forecast. Stick with us.
Rolling.
Sound is speeding.
Can you slow that down, please? This is 28-1.
28-1.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, tomorrow it is going to be cloudy with a high temperature of 19 degrees and a low of 11 degrees. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we can expect some lake effect snow showers, so only a few inches are expected to accumulate, but keep that in mind on your way to work or school. It is going to be 36 degrees on Wednesday, 30 degrees on Thursday, and 37 degrees on Friday, with a low of 19 degrees on Wednesday, 17 degrees on Thursday, and 14 degrees on Friday. And finally on Saturday, we're going to be seeing some sun again with a high of 47 degrees and a low of 30 degrees. And the low on Saturday is going to be the high on Thursday. But I'm sure we're all familiar with the inconsistent temperatures here in Syracuse and around the region. The weather is looking pretty similar to how it is here in Syracuse, with a low of 24 degrees in Binghamton and Cortland and a high of 29 degrees in Oswego. And luckily, none of these areas received the amount of snow that my hometown did. This is a picture of my dog Sandy playing in the snow. As you can see, she is quite small, but we did receive a lot of snow, and a blizzard warning has been issued across the New York City area as well as the Northeast, and over 2 feet of snow can be expected. It is still ongoing, and this made me wonder how much snow has Syracuse received in a blizzard versus somewhere like New York City. So for instance, in 1993, Syracuse received 42 inches of snow, almost 4 feet from a blizzard. But in 2016, New York City received almost 28 inches of snow, over 2 feet of snow from Blizzard Jonas, otherwise known as Snowzilla. And I know a lot of people are saying that 2026 is the new 2016, but I'm hoping we won't see a blizzard like this anytime in the near future. That's all I have for now. Back to you guys.
Skylar, thank you. And now taking a look at our stock market. Market slipped on the first day opening following the Supreme Court's decision on tariffs. The Dow Jones dropped more than 800 points, closing just below 49,000. The Nasdaq also closed at a loss.
Investors' fear of AI disruptions in multiple industries, as well as President Trump's decision to raise global tariffs following the Supreme Court's ruling to block his initial tariffs, are all being blamed for this.
Well, guys, the stock went down this weekend for Syracuse Athletics, and the Orange are actually in the red. We'll take a trip around the East Coast, plus a phenomenal matchup in the gold medal game of the Olympic men's hockey tournament might have made up for it. Stay with us. News Live at 6 returns after this.
Dad,
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. We're joined now by our sports reporter, Andrew Del Piano. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
It's been a busy weekend for Syracuse athletics. You were actually telling us something earlier that women's basketball was the most important game this weekend. Why is that?
It certainly was. I was actually down in Raleigh for that game, and it was a phenomenal contest between two teams kind of vying for a double bye right now in the ACC tournament, where the top four in the standings actually get that double bye to the quarterfinals. So NC State, they were in the fifth spot. Syracuse was that number 4 spot. They played on Sunday. So let's take you down to Reynolds Coliseum to how it went down between these two teams. Again, these two teams sitting at 11-5 in conference play, but it was actually NC State who got off to a really hot start. Tilda Traeger, phenomenal in that first quarter, reporting 6 points for NC State to take a 10-point lead after 10 minutes of action, and they would just continue the onslaught in that second quarter. Camille Pierre, the easy layup and one. She had 25 points in this one for her 18th double-double of the season. NC State led by 17 at halftime, but a Sophie Burrows 3 cut the lead down to 7 in that third quarter. But NC State, they would get away from that initial push and then kind of solidify this victory, if you will. There's a corner 3 for Caden Samuels to make it a 13-point NC State lead. Then some phenomenal ball movement by the Wolfpack to really put the nail in the coffin with Camille Pierre to get her up to 25 points, as we mentioned. And then for NC State to put this one away, Zam Jones, a scoop and score layup, and that would do it in this one. NC State takes this one 82-69 over Syracuse to move to 11-5 in conference play. And like I just mentioned, guys, now both teams are at that 11-5 mark, so there is a tie right now for 4th place in the ACC standings. Uche Azoje, though, she was great for Syracuse, getting her 7th Rookie of the Week this past weekend. And as I mentioned, Camille Pierre getting that 18th double-double with 25 points and 15 rebounds. Over in Milan, though, what a 2 weeks it has been for the Olympics, and it came down to one game for ultimate glory in the men's hockey tournament. Exactly 46 years after the Miracle on Ice and Lake Placid Games, the United States brought home another Olympic gold medal. Team USA defeated Canada 2-1 in overtime yesterday to secure just the 3rd gold in American history at the Olympics. This was such a special game out there in Italy, where Jack Hughes, he scored that overtime winner for the golden goal of his own. Connor Hellebuck in net for the U.S. He was sensational. 41 saves to keep this game tied heading into overtime. And these players talked about it a whole lot after that game. Watching that 1980 Miracle on Ice team inspired the next generation to get that final gold medal for the first time in over 4 decades. Back here on the Hill, though, Syracuse men's basketball couldn't take advantage of North Carolina without its best player on Saturday in a 77-64 loss. Projected top 5 pick in the NBA draft, Caleb Wilson, missed his 3rd straight game, but his absence hardly mattered. There was 12 minutes remaining in the game. It was there for the taking for the Orange. It was tied at 44. The Dome crowd was engaged. There was only 23,000 in the Dome for that game, but then the offense went flat. So head coach Adrian Autry, what exactly happened?
We couldn't score. I thought that was the biggest difference. And then, that was when we had a couple of breakdowns defensively where they really made us pay, and that kind of separated the league. And that separated them, and then it was just a struggle to get going.
Well, this season has really entered let's just get this over with stage now with 3 games remaining in the regular season. But that wasn't the feeling for Syracuse men's lacrosse for about a week, because last weekend was pure jubilation for SU. You knock off the #1 team in the nation in Maryland to claim that top spot. Then a couple days later, number 14 Harvard scores with 50 seconds remaining to beat Syracuse for a 2nd straight regular season matchup. These teams traded blows. Back and forth, Syracuse was even outscored 5-0 in that 2nd quarter. They hadn't been shut out in a quarter this season entering Saturday, but SU goes down to number 6 in the Inside Lacrosse poll. They take on number 7 Princeton on Friday down in New Jersey. That'll be a rematch of last year's NCAA quarterfinal thriller, where the Orange won that one 19-8 to advance to their first Final Four since 2013. Guys, back to you.
And coming up, we'll have one last look at your wake-up weather.
Stay with us.
And welcome back to News Live at 6. If you're waking up for work or school tomorrow around 9 a.m., it is going to be 12 degrees and cloudy, but it is going to feel like -1 degree. So make sure you're layering up and wearing your scarf, your gloves, your coat, because it's going to be cold outside. And then throughout the day, temperatures are going to remain pretty consistent, 15 degrees at 12 p.m. and about 16 degrees at 6 p.m.
And for a limited time only starting tomorrow, Krispy Kreme is collabing with Oreo for a donut collection. It includes 2 donuts, the golden Oreo donut and the chocolate Oreo donut.
Well, get this, guys. If you get the Krispy Kreme times Oreo dozen, it will feature 3 of the 2 new donuts, 3 of the everyday cookies and cream, that's with the K, of course, donut, plus 3 original glaze. That's a lot of donuts, guys. As of now, there is no official date on when this collab will end, so because it's happening right now. Are you guys Krispy Kreme fans at all?
I'm a Massachusetts guy, so it's Dunkin' or nothing, and I'll stick with that for the rest of my life.
Fair point. I've had Krispy Kreme a few times, but not here in Syracuse.
Yeah, being from California, I've had Krispy Kreme a lot of times, but there is no Krispy Kreme near us, so unfortunately we cannot try this unless we're going to New York City. So if anyone wants to make the trip.
But there's a whole lot of snow right now.
I was going to say, this blizzard, I wouldn't recommend that.
I say group road trip, go down to Krispy Kreme. We see the Eiffel Tower, the Empire State Building. Eiffel Tower is a different continent.
I think you can see it there too.
I probably could. It's so tall.
Now,
yeah, I know. It's with very clear skies over the Atlantic.
Do you have a favorite donut flavor?
I'm a very classic original glazed.
Keep it glazed.
Love the original glaze.
Vanilla frosted for me personally. I don't know.
I'm not a fan of frosting, no.
Fair. I like strawberry, personally, but
Sprinkles?
sprinkles,
There you
always.
go.
Always
There you go,
sprinkles.
sprinkles.
Well, that's Citrus TV News at Live at 6 for this Monday.
Don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram on @CitrusTV News. Now for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Tyler Oldano.
And I'm Anjana Dasam. Have a great night, Syracuse.